Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vuyile, and in this video, a part of the business basics for beginners, we will be talking about the website and social media. So every business needs a website. It's non-negotiable. Regardless what you do, you need a website. That doesn't mean you have to be paying lots of money for it. It also doesn't mean you need to be hiring a web developer, a web designer to make it happen. If you can't do, the most, just do the bare minimum. Make sure you have a website, make sure you have a good domain name, make sure it's clean, it's clear. Use the templates on the different hosting sites. So you can use GoDaddy, which is the one I often use for web hosting. You can use Squarespace, you can use Wix, you can use WordPress, you can use Webflow, which I recently discovered, and I have definitely been in love with Webflow for a while. And so look through all these different web hosting platforms, figure out the one that works for you, that has templates that are similar to the business that you have, that can provide you just like more what you need. Secondly, make it a priority to get a customized domain. So I use GoDaddy for my customized domains. I find them quite affordable, but there's a lot of really affordable sites where you just pay for a year for your domain name, meaning it's just bobthebuilder.com, bobthebuilder.ca, bobthebuilder.org, right? And so it's really important to get a custom domain name. I will put a disclaimer there that it's also really important what the whatever at the end says, because it does speak for the customer, speak a lot about who you are as a business, about what is the things that are important to what your business is about, right? So don't put like .org if your business is not an organization, right? Don't use a .edu, right? If you're not an educational site, make sure that you're using I forget what they are called, like web extensions or something. I'm not sure, honestly, don't quote me. Make sure you use ones that are positively viewed, like the .coms. Obviously a .com will often cost you more because everybody wants a .com, but I personally, because I am based in Canada, as I always am mentioning, always use a .ca, just because I feel like it's easier for my customers or whoever I'm just targeting to know that I am based in Canada. So find a domain name that works for you. Bob, simple and really clear to what your business is, bobthebuilder.com. When it comes to your website design, in the beginning, you don't necessarily have to hire a web developer and all of that if you're just starting out and you don't have the funds. If you do have the funds, I highly recommend getting somebody who's experienced in all of that to kind of work on all those things. Next is social media. It's important for every business to have some sort of social media presence, whether that's on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube. You need something, right? It doesn't have to have a whole like consistently being managed, but you just need something on there just so that it's easier for advertising, for customers. It's easier when you do have a social media page. I don't know if you guys have been on Instagram, seen an ad, found it really interesting, click on it and realize it leads you to a website and doesn't lead you to an Instagram page. Personally, I always find that fishy. I'm always trying to find where is the Instagram page, particularly, even if I'm still going to go to the website, because I feel like I can learn a lot about a company and its legitimacy based on what is on their actual page, right? And so based on their comments, based on their activities, based on the things they write in their description. So it's important as a business to have a social media presence, some sort of kind, and not just solely a website. I also think it's wise to have an idea of what kind of material or content you want to be putting out there and what exactly your business is in, right? So different platforms are great for different things. For example, businesses on LinkedIn, you're not sharing the same content as you would on Twitter, as you would on Instagram, right? LinkedIn, as much as it is visual, but it's also very much storytelling. It's very much on the business as a whole, showcasing all these different things about the business. So you wouldn't necessarily be promoting your products if you're like a product t-shirt business, for example, quite as much on LinkedIn, because it's more on the business side of things. When it comes to Instagram, it's more visual, right? And so even though the text and the copy is important, it's not as important as on LinkedIn or as on Twitter, right? So it's very much visually focused. You need to make sure that your images are aligning with your brand imagery, with your brand colors, with your brand identity, right? When it comes to Twitter, Twitter is really just about the short bite-sized text, right? And so Twitter, it's nice for promoting stuff, but it's also nice about giving your brand a voice, an opinion on different matters, or a voice, like your thoughts, your tone as a business. Twitter is the best place for you to really communicate your brand tone. Facebook is sort of this all-rounder platform where you're able to kind of showcase all these stuff. And so I would always recommend for a business, if you're starting out, start out with a Facebook page. Like, just go really basic Facebook page. It doesn't need to be the most, because with it, it's like the nature of a Facebook page. It's neither too visual or too text forward. It's just a good amount of like everything. And so it's a great place to start. Also, remember with your social media to be consistent with your business brand, right? I think I see a lot of business make this mistake where they're just like, okay, we're going to open an Instagram account, and then they'll either post nothing or they'll post a bunch of really random photos or graphics and things that are sort of not interconnected to the platform or interconnected to the brand, at different colors, different fonts, different pictures, different, right? And so it shows either a business that doesn't have a clear brand identity or a business that's failing to communicate that brand identity in their posts. Also important to have a social media strategy, right? To understand, with us being on social media, what do we want, right? And so of course, for beginners, you can just start off, I just want to have a social media page in which the business is on there. I don't want to go too in depth, but as your business grows and you're able to have more volunteers, you're able to have more staff, to have, more interns, it's really important, whoever will be doing that role, to find a social media strategy. What does that mean? It means, what are we doing? Like, what is the goal with our social media? Are we just promoting our products, right? Are we educating our customers, our followers? Are we really intentional about educating them about the problem that we are trying to solve? Are we building a community? Are we creating posts that are really engaging and really fun and really easy for people to connect to as a community? Are we trying to grow? Are we trying to grow social media platforms? What does that look like? Are we commenting as a business account on other businesses' pages and trying to build community in that way, right? And so there are a lot of different social media strategies out there, but you can do your research on ones that really work for you or that work for your particular business. But it's also really great when a business has a strategy for social media. So that is everything from me today. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about, and I'll definitely be talking about it more in the future because I can, go on about social media for a really long time. But thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe if you aren't already. If you already are, turn on the notifications. If you've already done that, then make sure you let me know in the comments, and we will include your particular comments in the next video. So thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day.